You referenced earlier a previous anti-intellectual or anti-scholarship strain in the past. And yet, at your previous church, Cornerstone, you founded Bible college. Can you tell us how you went from some anti-scholarship strands to the founding of an institution for scholarship at the church?
Yeah, it's when I began to encounter men who love the Word of God, and it's still bothering me that you say you're not a scholar. John, does that drive anyone else crazy? Because it's like, okay, if you're not a scholar, what in the world am I? You know? Anyways.
There is an answer for that.
Okay, I'm sure there is. Okay, I mean, I don't know if you remember when I first met you. You were speaking at Azusa Pacific University. I had just spoken the day before, or a couple days before, and so I asked the faculty, "Hey, can I drive him to the airport? You know, I just want to spend time with you." And I remember in the car almost apologizing for not. I had tried to write at that time, and I couldn't write, and I always felt like anyone who knew this much knowledge about the scriptures wanted me to know just as much as him, or I was failing or not as good. And I remember just saying, gosh, I've tried to write and I can't do it. And I remember you just looked at me and said, well, maybe you're not supposed to. I'm like, really? I don't have to? I don't. And you won't even remember because it just came out of you were saying, I hear you have great, gifts with speaking to the youth and you can really communicate to them. And so keep doing that. And it was like, so you're okay with me. Like I have something to offer even though I'm not at your level. It was like this, you used what knowledge you had to build me up and to lift me up and to edify me. And there were other men that came into my life that did the same thing and helped me in some of my shortcomings and actually felt like I had something to offer them. As they said, well, why don't you help me in communicating? Because every time I talk, people sleep. And I go, okay, let me help you and let's work and let's do this. But it happened today at lunch when we were praying over you and someone was thanking God for you because they said, I love you more, God, because of the writings of John and his teachings. And that was true of me. It's like, I love Jesus more. Like I would read some of, not to embarrass you, but it was your writings that I would read and they were deep and they were rich and I walked away more in love with Jesus. And it just gave me this confidence. Okay, here's how we use the mind to stir on this affection. And I want to do that with other young people. And you're seeing how there's so many younger people now that are getting it and understanding things and understanding some of these concepts. And it's causing them to love Jesus more, not puff up like the passage I'm going to teach tonight, but it really caused them to fall more in love with Jesus. And I want to thank you because I do feel like I love Jesus more because of your writings and your thinking. I love people more because of your writing. The main thing, and I think my wife can attest to this, is I just enjoy God more. I do. I love knowing him. The friend, and some of that was gone for a while. There was still that underlying fear. There was still that respect. There was still a lot of these things that showed this reverence toward the Lord. But it was through the writings of your writings that I enjoyed him again. I desired him again, and so actually thinking got me to love him more. And I think for a while that wasn't happening. And so when I saw that it could happen, it got me more and more excited to read more, to study more, and to encourage other people to do the same.